Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Widows. A Steve McQueen film starring the likes of Viola Davis and Colin Farrell. Yeah, automatically excited. I don't need to hear anymore. I don't need to see any trailers. I am on board for that film. But then you present the trailers to me, and I'm even more on board. This quickly became one of my most anticipated films of the fall and winter film seasons. But does it live up to the hype that it's been receiving from film festivals, on Rotten Tomatoes, from critics, from early preview audiences who have already seen it? My answer? Yeah, it does. This was a great movie. So let's go ahead and talk about those positives. Well, the acting across the board is absolutely superb. Viola Davis is excellent, as she always is. And it's so effortless for her to really become these characters. And she is across the board with this character. It's so multifaceted. She's so good at delivering everything, all aspects of her character. The vulnerability is there. You can feel it. This somewhat facade of a tougher outer shell. This badass. This like strong, awesome badass. This intelligent woman. This scared woman. All of that is there. And she delivers it so well. And what I think Viola Davis does beautifully, better than darn near every other actor in Hollywood right now, is do so much right here. We have so much time with her just delivering everything we need in the face. It tells the complete and total story right there on her face. She's able to run the gambit with just her face, sometimes in a single scene, and it's actually a marvel to behold. This is one of the best acting performances I've seen this year. She was that good. But you want to know who else was that good? Elizabeth Debicki. She was stellar in this movie. Her character sees the most growth out of any of the characters in this film, and she pulls it off so well. Right from that first frame we see her in, we know that we're in for a treat, and Debicki is more than up for the task. And her character has so many layers. There is so much going on under this pretty shell of a surface to reveal something deeper, to reveal a damaged person, a strong person, a smart person, and Debicki pulls this all off effortlessly. She's so good. Michelle Rodriguez is so good in this movie. Probably the best acting performance I have ever seen her give. Cynthia Erivo strikes again. She's 2 for 2. She was wonderful in Bad Times at the El Royale, and I think she was fantastic in this film. Colin Farrell, much like Viola Davis, reliably superb in this film. He knows how to play this type of character really well, and he pulls it off just wonderfully. Liam Neeson gives one of his better performances in recent memory. Robert Duvall is so good in this movie. And Daniel Kaluuya, I mean, right now he can do no wrong. He was fantastic. Jackie Weaver has a small supporting role here, and she's so good in it. Just literally all of the acting performances are amazing, top to bottom, actor showcase. And that leads us into our next positive, and that is director Steve McQueen, who helped extract these fantastic performances out of his actors, like he does in literally every single film I've seen of his. This makes him 4 for 4 out of feature films for me. I thought Hunger was fantastic, Shame was fantastic, 12 Years a Slave was, just masterclass, and Widows is fantastic. They all have amazing performances from the actors, and they have an amazing performance from the director. His visual style is breathtaking. Honestly, I think he is an underrated director to some extent. He didn't even win Best Director for 12 Years a Slave. And this film just showed what a fantastic director he is. His style was all over this film. He made brave choices, stylistic choices. The way he sets up frames is so beautiful and unique, artistic, and strong that it's impossible not to just feel his presence in this film. It actively elevated every single scene in this movie. I want to highlight a one take that happens on the front of a car that then follows the character. It's amazing. Like, I was astonished watching it because it was so freaking good. And then the beauty of the second to last scene of this film, just the way we work with reflections, the way we work with tables and walls and dividers, is so beautiful. And the cinematography is also beautiful. It's a gorgeous film to look at, just on every front. The music is also fantastic. The editing is near perfection. Really, from a technical standpoint, this movie is masterfully crafted. And it's exciting. It's not this like dull, boring, Oscar bait style of a film. It is full of energy, of intrigue. There is a twist in here that I did not see coming, and that added an entirely new dynamic to the film. It was a twist worth having. And you care about these characters. You care about each and every one of them, whether that be rooting for them to succeed or rooting for them to fail and for their downfall. And that comes down to not only the screenplay and the script itself creating these really fascinating multi-dimensional characters, but to the actors for really pulling that off and then luring you in with their performances. But you care about the plot, you care about the story, you're fully invested in what's happening, and you care about these people. So what doesn't work quite so well when it comes to Widows? Well, the script develops characters very well, and it develops an intriguing story, but one that doesn't quite hold up under a magnifying glass. We go along with some of these jumps. We go along with this twist. But when you really start to think of it, there's some pretty big holes in the story and the way that the story unfolds and the logic behind some of what happens. There's also this slightly weird interracial relationship dynamic that starts to take place, and this guilt factor that goes along with this interracial relationship that was intriguing and definitely brought up a point, but it wasn't given maybe the time it needed to fully land and to justify where we end up in that subset of the film. But really, that's it for me. The script is far from perfect. I think it has a lot of holes, and you have to fill in a lot of gaps or completely ignore some fallacies within the script, but it's still a really good time, and it's easy to just overlook the flaws in the script when you're this invested and when there are so many good components to the film, when pretty much everything outside of those fallacies is amazing. I can't wait to see this film again because my audience was pretty terrible in this movie. I had these women that were laughing throughout the entire movie, and they were so annoying and really kept like taking me out of my experience. There were quite a few annoying people, actually, throughout the screening that I was in. So I can't wait to see this with hopefully a better, more respectful audience to get the full immersion that I want to get from this movie. But even with the hot mess audience that I watched it with, it was still a fantastic film. And I wouldn't give this anything other than a full price ticket. I think both general audiences and more critical audience goers, they're all going to love it. This is one that really hits on all cylinders. So, that is my review of Widows. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Widows? And what is your favorite Steve McQueen film? And what do you think of him as a director? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!